Chapter 45. Trip to Dwarf. Rimuru-tempest. Right now, Ciel and I are riding on Ranga, heading towards the kingdom of dwarfs, known as Dwarf. After spending the night, Ciel and I returned to the goblin village, where we saw that everyone had evolved successfully. All the male goblins have evolved into hobgoblins, while the female goblins have transformed into goblinas. Alongside them, the once fearsome Dwarves have evolved into tempest wolves, except for Ranga. In a remarkable twist, Ranga bypassed the tempest wolf stage entirely, ascending directly to the state of a star wolf. This divergence in evolution showcases the unique paths that individuals may take within a species. While most follow the expected progression, there are exceptions like Ranga. His evolution defies convention, and reveals the depth of possibilities inherent in the natural world. The unique evolution of Ranga, attributed to the personal connection formed through my personally naming him, highlights the profound influence that individual bonds can have on the evolutionary process. Similarly, the goblins who were bestowed with personalized names have surpassed expectations, exhibiting strength and resilience beyond their typical capabilities. Among these remarkable transformations, one stands out prominently: Gazel. Despite his astonishing increase in strength, his physical appearance remains largely unchanged, save for subtle alterations. This phenomenon serves as a testament to the complexity of evolution and the varied paths it can take, even within the same species. Upon our return to the village, my first act was to appoint Velzard as the new goblin lord, entrusting him with the vital task of overseeing the village's affairs. As the newly appointed leader, Velzard's primary responsibility became the maintenance and well-being of the village populace. To ensure the efficient functioning of the community, we implemented a strategic division of labor. The villagers were organized into 3 distinct groups. One tasked with patrolling the village perimeter and ensuring security, another dedicated to gathering food, and a third focused on constructing shelters and crafting clothing. However, it soon became apparent that the villagers lacked fundamental knowledge in essential areas, such as construction and craftsmanship. Recognizing the need for skilled artisans to aid in the village's development, Ciel and I resolved to journey to Dwarf, the renowned kingdom of dwarfs, in search of assistance. As we embarked on our journey towards Dwarf, Velzard and the other villagers earnestly urged us to take along a companion for our travels. Despite their insistence, Ciel and I initially saw no need for additional company, and politely declined their offer. However, their persistence led us to reconsider, and after careful consideration, we chose to bring Ranga, our faithful companion, with us. Before departing, we took the opportunity to teach valuable skills to Gazel, including the elusive shadow motion technique, as well as the knowledge of summoning his loyal tempest wolf partner. Recognizing the importance of spreading this knowledge, we tasked Gazel with sharing his newfound abilities with the other villagers. We taught him this skill because in my other variant of my timeline, where he took Gazel with him, Gazel learned this skill. It proved incredibly useful for him, aiding in his development of strength. This skill became one of his basic abilities. And now that we didn't take him with us, there's no way that he will be able to learn this skill on his own. That's why we taught him that skill. Back to us. Right now, Ciel is sitting in front of me on Ranga, and I am sitting behind her. The delicate interplay of sunlight upon her pale complexion lends an ethereal quality, as if her very skin exudes a divine radiance. Each tendril of her loose hair dances freely in the gentle caress of the wind, accentuating her natural grace. Enhanced by the captivating allure of her crimson gaze, which eagerly drinks in the surrounding panorama, she seems intent on capturing every nuance of nature's splendor. This just makes her already beautiful face even more beautiful. Oh, how I love this scene. I could watch her like this for eternity. But sadly, we have to stop now because we are near the dwarf kingdom. As we approach the kingdom, her curious expression returns to its usual state, indicating that she is now content for the time being. Ranga, stop here, I commanded as we approached the threshold of the gate, signaling a temporary pause in our journey. As Ranga obeyed, I gracefully dismounted from his back, extending my hand to assist Ciel in alighting from her perch, embodying the chivalry befitting a true gentleman. Allow me, my queen, I offered, guiding her descent with a gesture of reverence. With our feet firmly planted on the ground, our hands naturally found each other's grasp once more, forging a connection that transcended mere physicality. For the interim, Ranga, it would be prudent for you to remain concealed within our shadow. When the exigency arises, we shall summon you forth, I advise, acknowledging the necessity of discretion in our upcoming endeavors. Yes, master, Ranga acknowledged dutifully, fading into the protective embrace of our shadowy refuge. Should we wait in line first, or should we just go inside? I asked Ciel. If we wait in line, it will take too much time, so let's just go directly instead, she said to me. Fine then. And just like that, we found ourselves inside the gates of Dwarf. What we did was simply replace the space we were in with the space inside Dwarf. Normally, when people employ teleportation magic or spatial motion, they typically create a rift in space between their current location and the desired destination. Through this rift, they transport themselves to their intended destination. However, during this process, there is a high chance that others may sense the disturbance or distortion in space. And in instant motion, individuals traverse by simultaneously manipulating space and time, often involving the manipulation of information particles. To utilize instant motion, one requires the skill space-time domination or a teleportation-related skill of similar caliber, such as space-time domination. Despite the advanced nature of instant motion, individuals capable of manipulating information particles, such as digital life form and digital nature beings, may still detect it. These beings possess the ability to detect changes in information particles. However, only a select few individuals possess the ability to use instant motion, including Velgrynd, Velzard, Bildor, Guy, Diablo, Shizue, Chloe, Zijin, and Dino. Moreover, all of them are digital life form and digital nature beings. Although it is rare for individuals to detect instant motion, there is still a possibility of it occurring. Dwargan's security is quite impressive, I murmured, my admiration evident in the tone of my voice. It's true that their security measures are pretty good. They've installed a teleportation detection barrier that catches anyone trying to teleport inside. But unfortunately for them, they won't detect us. Firstly, we don't have any presence, so even if we walk past them, they wouldn't know we're there unless we want them to. Secondly, we didn't teleport in the first place. Instead, we simply swapped the spaces between two different locations. So, naturally, nothing has changed. Therefore, no one will be able to detect us because we didn't travel in the first place. To the world, we have been present inside Dwargan from the beginning. That's given, considering that they had survived 3 Tenma wars, Ciel expressed her thoughts. Well, it's true. This nation is indeed noteworthy for surviving 3 Tenma wars. I have high hopes for this nation. But for now, let's forget about that and focus on the main reason for coming here. My queen, I began with a tender smile. Shall we indulge in the pleasure of our long-awaited date? Offering my hand, I awaited a response. Yes, my king, she replied with equal warmth, her hands seamlessly intertwining with mine in a display of mutual affection. And with that, she and I commenced our date in Dwargan. Time skip. After a wonderful date between Rimuru and Ciel. That was undeniably one of the most enchanting dates I've experienced, I exclaimed, my heart still awash with the lingering warmth of our shared moments. We truly had an incredible time together, she chimed in, her eyes sparkling with fond reminiscences of our joyous adventures. Now that is done, it's time to work, I said to no one in particular. 2 days have already passed since we arrived in Dwargan, so the cave incident must have already occurred. Kaijun's brothers are already injured, and if the information that I gathered here is correct, then they are currently at their place, unable to continue their work due to their injuries. If I go there and propose a deal to heal Kaijun's brothers in exchange for their service to me, it could work. Yes, let's proceed with this plan. By doing so, I will be able to recruit them for my cause. As we made our way to Kaijun's place, we engaged in some small talk along the way. Lost in my thoughts, we soon found ourselves standing in front of their shop. Is anyone here? I called out, knocking on the door. Peering inside, I could hear the loud clang of hammers striking metal, accompanied by the grumbling of an elderly man. It must be Kaijun. Hey! Is anyone here, or is everyone dead? I shouted, raising my voice in an attempt to be heard over the noise. Sir, do you have any business here? A voice interrupted me from behind me. Turning around, I saw a weary-looking dwarf staring back at us. His expression seemed worn out, as if burdened by unseen troubles. I presumed him to be Kaiju, one of Kaijun's brothers. Indeed, I've come to seek the expertise of the renowned craftsman, Kaijun, I informed Kaiju with a sense of purpose. Unfortunately, our circumstances are less than favorable at the moment, Kaiju responded with a hint of melancholy. Could it be related to the cave incident from yesterday? I inquired, subtly probing for details. Indeed, the aftermath of yesterday's accident has left 3 of our brothers injured, and Kaijun himself has urgent tasks to attend to today. Regrettably, we find ourselves unable to accommodate any further customers, Kaiju explained with a touch of resignation. Nevertheless, let me speak with Kaijun directly. I believe I may be able to offer assistance, I proposed optimistically. I'm uncertain of your intentions, but I'm willing to escort you to Kaijun, Kaiju conceded, leading the way into their workshop. Upon stepping into the workshop, my attention gravitated towards Kaijun's brothers. His injuries painted a grim picture. One bore the burden of a missing arm, another bore the scars of a head injury, coupled with the loss of an eye, and the third was marked by the absence of a leg and an ear. Their physical affliction spoke volumes, conveying the challenges that had rendered them incapable of continuing their craft. Hey bro, I've brought some customers. Kaiju's announcement reverberated through the workshop, momentarily piercing the rhythmic clang of metal against metal. Ha, did you say something? Kaijun paused his work, his brows furrowing as he strained to discern Kaiju's words amidst the din. I said I'd brought some customers, Kaiju repeated, his voice raised to overcome the clamor. I see, but I don't have any time to spare from my work. Don't you know that? Kaijun's response was resolute, his focus unwavering as he returned to the task at hand. Yes, I understand, but they mentioned they could help you, Kaiju persisted, his tone tinged with urgency. As Kaiju continued to advocate on our behalf, Kaijun finally tore his gaze away from his work, his gaze sweeping over us with a discerning eye. I see. So, what do you have to say? He queried, his voice tinged with a hint of skepticism, yet laced with a curiosity born of necessity. Could you please elaborate on your condition? I want to understand the specifics so that I can offer you the most effective assistance possible. While I am aware of your brother's injuries, I would appreciate further details about your situation, I prompted Kaijun, emphasizing the importance of understanding his circumstances fully in order to provide meaningful help. Initially hesitant, Kaijun took a moment to gather his thoughts before finally opening up. Well, as you mentioned, there's another sword hanging over my head. You see, I am obligated to deliver 20 longswords by this evening, but I'm currently lacking the time, motivation, and materials to complete the project, Kaijun explained, his tone laced with concern. Couldn't you simply cancel the order or explain your situation to the employer? I offered, suggesting a potential solution. If only it were that simple, Kaijun responded, shaking his head. He continued. The order this time was issued to any and all craftsmen in the nation who were capable of accepting it, directly on behalf of the country itself. Not fulfilling the order issued by the crown could have unintended consequences. Kaijun elaborated on the gravity of his predicament, highlighting the potential repercussions of failing to fulfill a royal decree. If I offer to both fully heal his brothers and furnish him with the requisite swords, I can effectively persuade him to serve me and accompany me to our place. Let's put this plan into action. I understand your situation, but don't worry because I can help you with both problems. I can assist you with obtaining the necessary swords, and I can also heal your brother's injuries, I said to him in a businesslike voice. How so? I find myself in dire need of 10 swords, and even if, by some miraculous feat, you manage to procure the necessary materials, the task of crafting these swords would still be impossible. Furthermore, despite exhaustive attempts with various medicines and potions, none have proven efficacious. Thus, I am compelled to inquire. Precisely how do you intend to remedy these predicaments? Kaijun asked, his skepticism evident as he sought reassurance of my trustworthiness and reliability before proceeding. Well, concerning the matter of the swords, I possess a unique ability, one that grants me the means to resolve the sword shortage. As for your brother's ailments, rest assured, I hold something extraordinary in reserve for their recovery, I replied, infusing my words with a tone of unwavering confidence and reassurance. But what's the catch behind this? Surely, you wouldn't extend such generosity without expecting something in return, Kaijun inquired, his tone tinged with cautious curiosity, probing for the underlying motives behind my offer. This observation only underscores his shrewd business acumen and keen discernment. Haha, here goes my villain side. The catch is quite straightforward. You simply need to pledge your allegiance to me, serving as my subordinates and accompanying me. In exchange, I will undertake the completion of your tasks, and ensure the complete healing of your brothers, restoring them to full health. Should you refuse my offer, I will depart as I arrived, impervious to any enticement you may offer. So, what is your decision? I articulated in a tone befitting a seasoned businessman, leaving little room for ambiguity. Do I truly have to make such a choice? Is it truly worthwhile to abandon allegiance to the king? Kaijun deliberated inwardly, though his thoughts were not quiet enough to elude my keen senses. He requires only one final nudge. And I know precisely how to deliver it. Approaching one of his injured brothers, I retrieved a vial containing a potent potion from my imaginary space, administering it with precision. Crafted long ago, this elixir, known as a full potion, is the epitome of potency, capable of healing grievous injuries, and even regenerating lost limbs, regardless of how long they have been absent. Such a feat is a testament to our unique expertise, though for others, it remains an unattainable goal. While some may achieve a 98% extraction rate from hypocrite herbs, resulting in what is known as a high potion, only we possess the knowledge and skill to breach the 99% barrier, required for a full potion. The key lies in conducting the extraction process within a vacuum environment, a detail often overlooked by lesser alchemists. But let us not stray from the matter at hand. As the elixir took effect, the missing limb of Kaijun's brother began to regenerate, while his other wounds swiftly healed, leaving him restored to perfect health. A subtle smirk graced my lips as I observed the miraculous recovery. Now, it is time to unveil the final gambit. Whoa. What happened? What did you do? How are his injuries healed, and his arm is also healed? Kaijun exclaimed in shock and awe as he witnessed his brother's injuries miraculously restored to their former state of health. It is time for the final blow. So, what is your choice? I don't have much time, you know. I said it in a hurried voice, emphasizing the importance of the decision and the limited time available. If you don't want, then I can leave, I added quickly, ensuring his brother was returned to his prior state before administering the full potion. With that said, I turned alongside Ciel, gesturing to depart. As we began to leave, I noticed a particular look in Ciel's eyes. She seemed captivated by my villainous demeanor. Master is acting like a villain again. So cool. Master is acting like a villain again. So cool. I must record this at all costs. These were Ciel's thoughts. But for now, I should just focus on Kaijun. Chapter 46. Dwargan's Blacksmith. From the previous chapter. If you don't want, then I can leave, I added quickly, ensuring his brother was returned to his prior state before administering the full potion. With that said, I turned alongside Ciel, gesturing to depart. As we began to leave, I noticed a particular look in Ciel's eyes. She seemed captivated by my villainous demeanor. But for now, I should just focus on Kaijun. Continuation. Rimuru. Haha, this will do the trick, I mused inwardly to myself, quite pleased with how things were going on. Well, so what's your decision? I asked him casually, positioning myself near the exit. He is on the verge of giving in. And seeing Kaijun's hesitance, I couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. It seemed my calculated moves were paying off exactly as I had anticipated. Good job, me. I gave myself a shout of encouragement because I was liking this situation. It is a well-executed strategy after all, just like hook, line, sinker. Now that I think about it, I have created many layers of manipulation at play. First, I established contact with Kaijun, giving him a sense of hope. Then I showed my capability to solve his problems. Finally, I created a scenario where he had no choice but to choose my interest. I think I will do a good job as a villain. I absolutely agree with you. Master will be the perfect and strongest villain. But still, you don't have to create circumstances where he must choose your side. And here she goes again, slipping into her motherly mode. Well, she is not entirely wrong. It is true that I deliberately stopped the soldiers who were going to help the people injured in the cave incident, thereby causing injuries to Kaijun's brothers. Later, after coming here, I gave Kaijun a false sense of security, by offering him hope that I could help him by healing his brothers, and solving his sword problem. Then, I crushed that hope by revealing that he must leave this kingdom, pledge his loyalty and alliance to me, and become my subordinate. Finally, I returned his brother to his prior state before healing him and presented him with two choices. Either he and his brothers become my subordinates, or I leave. And once again, I gave him a glimmer of hope, but with a severe price. Actually, in reality, he only has one choice, and that is to become my subordinate. Because I know that Kaijun has a deep bond with his brothers, and to save them and restore them to their former state, he can do anything. Now that I have presented him with these choices, he must choose the first option, or else his brothers won't recover, and he doesn't want that. So, he must choose the first option. And that's exactly what I want. A clean and perfect plan. And in the end, what mattered most was the execution of a flawless plan, one that would secure my objectives without fail. An act befitting a great villain. Ha 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 ha. All these people should bow before me, the greatest villain of all time, the great demon lord. Rimuru-tempest, ha 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 ha. I think Kaldor's Otaku personality is rubbing off on me. It seems that I need to take some measures before Master goes insane. Yes, 1 week of sleeping outside will do the job. Yeah, let's do that. It will make him master himself again. Oops, I think I just said that out loud. I thought out loud. No Ciel, I will do anything but not sleep outside please. I can't sleep without cuddling you anything, but that, desperate Rimuru. Sigh, okay, but you have to compose yourself and don't start to act differently. Okay, ma'am, said as fast as he could. But sometimes it's okay because when you do that, you look super cool. Fangirl sighed. Woman, make up your mind already, what am I supposed to do? Why are women so complicated? I accept your proposal. I will pledge my loyalty and alliance to you and leave this kingdom to join you as your subordinate. While I was engaged in an intense battle with Ciel, Kaijun declared his answer. Kaijun, you don't have to do this. One of Kaijun's brothers said. I believe his name is Garm. Yes, you don't have to, echoed his other brother, whom I think is named Dord. His last brother nodded in agreement. Wait, I know who he is. He's Murd. And is he seriously like this even in this timeline? Say something, dude. There's no need for you to say anything. I have made up my mind, but I have one condition, Kaijun interjected, shutting down his brothers. And what's with his condition? Well, it doesn't matter because I can fulfill every condition. So let's seal the deal. Go on, I am listening, I said, gesturing for him to state his condition. My condition is that my brothers will come with me, he said, still bowing. How is he really serious? Did he forget that just a few moments ago I told him that his brothers could come with him? It must be because he was too preoccupied with his thoughts and didn't hear that part. Well, no problem with the condition because I want them to come. Fine by me, they can come as long as they want, I said casually, as if it were no big deal. Then I will. He was about to say something, but I intervened. Hold your horses for a moment. Let's heal your brothers first, I said, heading towards his brothers. Okay, then guys, be ready to become as good as new. I announced, using 3 full potions on them. Instantly, their injuries healed, their missing body parts regrew, and long before they became as they were before getting injured. Now they are fully healed, leaving not a single scratch behind. We pledge our undying loyalty and alliance to you. After getting recovered, their first deed was pledging their loyalty to me, but it seems that I forgot to tell them my name. It's Rimuru-Tempest, and here she is, my wife, Ciel Tempest. I introduced both of us to them. We pledge our eternal and undying loyalty and alliance to you, Sir Rimuru and Lady Ciel, they all said in unison, except Kaijun, of course. I see, so in that case, I, the embodiment of nothingness, the ruler of void, Rimuru-Tempest, on behalf of me and my wife, Ciel Tempest, accept you as my subordinates, I majestically declared. And just like that, a soul corridor between them and me formed, and they received my special protection like my other subordinates. So about your sword problem, I said, addressing the other issue. Yes, about that, I have to create 20 long magic swords, and submit them to the kingdom by the end of the day, as per our contract. If I knew I was going to be short on magisteel, then I wouldn't have taken this contract. But that shy minister had to say, famed throughout our kingdom for your skills, cannot a man of your caliber, Kaijun, complete a small task of this degree. He said and indirectly challenged me not to mention, this was said in front of the king. Would you forgive him? That shy bastard, and in those circumstances, I have to take this job, he explained, grumbling as he released some of his frustration. From the tone of your voice, it seems like you've had some small fights with that minister, but let's leave that matter. I don't want to pry too much into your personal life. So, about the sword, if you give me one already made, then I can help you, I suggested. He looked confused for a moment, but then he went to another room and brought a magic sword. Here, take this. This is one of the finest swords that I have made, he said, handing me the sword. Now that I look closely at it, it is indeed a masterpiece. He is truly a master craftsman. The sword is flawless. But still, I can see some flaws in it. Well, with time, he will become better, I suppose. Wait, did I just contradict myself? I think I am starting to overthink things. Okay then, here I go. I said, devouring the sword and bringing it inside the imaginary space to copy it 10 times. And here are your swords, I announced, presenting him with 11 identical swords, one by one, each looking exactly like the other with not a single difference. Whoa, how did you do that? No, seeing your previous abilities, it doesn't matter how you did this, but still, to have crafted swords of this caliber, it just feels like I am not that good a craftsman, he said, examining the swords I had given him, his voice becoming subdued as he spoke. I was able to craft it only because you made the original sword with that quality. So don't lower yourself, you are absolutely one of the best craftsmen. I reassured him with some words of encouragement. Well, that wasn't a lie, but not all truth either. They seemed to be in a good mood. As I handed them the remaining swords, Kaijun's mood lit up. With the recovery of his brothers, almost all of his problems were resolved, and now they were celebrating this moment. Guys, I don't want to ruin your mood, but I think it would be good if Kaijun submitted these swords to the minister first, I suggested to them. Yeah, you are right, Sir Rimuru. I shall submit these swords first, and I also need to tell the king that I have pledged my alliance to you, and am going to leave the kingdom, Kaijun said, gathering the swords. Guys, I will be leaving now. I need to return to my duty. And Sir Rimuru, I once again thank you for healing my brothers. Kaijun said one last time, bowing, and started heading outside. So guys, I should also take my leave, but before that, hey Kaijun. I called out to Kaijun. Yes Sir Rimuru. Kaijun asked, stopping in his tracks and turning towards us. Take these and show them to your king, I said, handing him 3 vials of the full potion. But why, Sir Rimuru? He asked, wanting to know the reason. You will understand later, so for the time being, just do as I say, I instructed him. You healed my brothers, for that, I can at least do this, he said, taking the potions from me and leaving. Guys, we will be leaving now. Tomorrow, around this time, we will come here to take you. Till then, you should gather your belongings, I said to them, preparing to leave. Wait, Sir Rimuru. I was about to leave, but out of nowhere, Kaijun called me. Oh no. 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 He is going to ask for that. And Ciel is here. She will definitely kill me. Think, Rimuru. Think. I know. I should just shut him up and leave as soon as possible. Kaijun, listen carefully. You are a single man, so I am not sure if you will understand or not, but for this once, if you respect me, then shut your mouth and let me leave alive. If that's it, then bye. I said this to Kaijun in full seriousness, and before he could utter a single word, I left. But I just wanted to show my gratitude. I think I heard something, it must be my imagination. What happened, master? Why are you acting like this? Ciel asked me innocently. You know exactly what happened, woman. Now don't try to act all innocent. But still, I am glad that I was able to leave as soon as possible. And now, why is she making this face? Is she enjoying this state? Seriously, sometimes I don't understand what is going on in Ciel's head. I should just forget about all this and focus on what I should do next. Should we go on another date? Yeah, this will be a good idea. Also, in this way, her focus will shift away from me. Ciel, since we have nothing to do until tomorrow, would you like to go on another date? I asked her, my heart fluttering with anticipation. Whenever I spend my time with Ciel, I don't know why, but all my thoughts become clear, all my tensions dissipate, and my mind becomes light. It feels like there is no need to think about anything, all I need to do is enjoy the current moment with Ciel by my side. I know why. It's because we love each other. It's because we are soulmates. It's because we are inseparable. It's because we are the rulers of the void and its entire existence. It's because we are the king and queen of the void and our entire existence. It's because we are husband and wife. And it's because she is my beloved Ciel. Yes, master, I would be delighted, she replied, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Then allow me the privilege of taking you on a date, my queen, I said, gently taking her hand in mine and feeling the warmth of her touch. Privilege granted, my king, she whispered, her voice filled with love and affection. With our fingers intertwined, we embarked on a journey through the enchanting streets of Dwargan, lost in each other's company and the magic of the moment. Time skip. One day and one delightful date between Rimuru and Ciel later. I think we need to go on more dates. Seriously, I enjoyed every moment of our yesterday's date, and I will cherish those memories forever. Yeah, we definitely should go on more dates. Maybe next time I should go with Shizue, or maybe both Ciel and Shizue. I know. We should all go together, the 5 of us. But for the time being, let's get back to work. But before that, darling, would you like to have some fun before we head to Kaijun's place? We still have the whole day ahead of us, I suggested to Ciel as we both woke up. Actually, after finishing our date, we returned to our inn that we booked the day we came to Dwargan. Master, are you sure you're not forgetting anything? She asked, her voice inquisitive. Am I forgetting something? Remember, if Ciel is mentioning it, then there's got to be something that I'm overlooking. What could it be? It's the meeting with King Gazel. How could I forget that? Also, if I'm right, then Kaijun and his brothers should have been arrested by now, and their trial is today. But still, I want to have some more fun. Way to ruin the plan of having fun, I tease her. Well, I can't do anything about it. Work is work after all, she said, slipping into her motherly mode. Okay. I get it. And it seems that we have some guests. As I said, someone knocked on our room's door. Knock knock. Geez, whoever it is must be impatient. Wait a minute, I'll answer the door. I replied to whoever was knocking on the door. Let's get up, Ciel, I said and stood up, with Ciel following suit. I am finished, master, Ciel said once she got dressed. As Ciel said that, I opened the door, and there on the other side was Kaijun. Is there something wrong? I said, acting oblivious. I exactly know why he is here. And if he is here, then it means that Gazel saw those potions. Well, time to set the plan in motion. No, Sir Rimuru, there are no problems. It's just that our king, His Majesty King Gazel, has asked if he can have an audience with you, he told me, explaining his reason for coming here. While I anticipated Gazel might summon us, I didn't expect him to request an audience directly. Nonetheless, it's not out of our expectations, there were a few scenarios where he might ask for this. Well, as long as it sticks with the plan, then there is no need to worry. I see, so he saw it, huh? Well, then, lead the way, I said to him. As I said, he started to lead us to Gazel. I wonder how I should play with him. Don't cause too much chaos, master. And here's the usual warning. Well, if a warning has come, then there is still something left. But a little fun is okay. Haha, just as I expected, something can be predicted about her. Hahaha, this will be interesting. So let's see what you have to offer me, King Gazel. Chapter 47. Dwargan's King. Rimuru. So, you are Gazel Dwargo, king of this nation, huh? I remarked, observing the stout figure before me. He possessed a very dwarf-like tough-looking physique, with the stature of a human, but cloaked in an armor of muscle, that hinted at concealed strength beneath. His skin bore the characteristic tan-brown hue of his race, and his jet-black hair was slicked back with precision. After Kaijun came to a room at the inn, informing us of the king's request for an audience, we agreed, recognizing the strategic value of meeting with him. Guided by Kaijun, we ended up in Dwargan's castle. Inside a chamber, we found 3 people. The king himself, Gazel Dwargo, an old lady whose name I didn't know, and another dwarf with blonde hair, whose name I also don't know. I am Gazel Dwargo, the king of this nation. This man beside me is Dwarf, our military officer, and the lady is Jane, the royal court magician. Please take a seat. Gazel introduced himself and the other people in the room, offering us seats. Since they introduced themselves, should we introduce ourselves too? Is that necessary? Yes, it is. It's called manners. How will you become a good father if you act like this? While I was thinking, Ciel abruptly talked to me via our minds. Does that mean you want a baby? Let's tease her a little. Haha. This is starting to become fun. What are you saying? It seems I hit a weak spot to poke. Let's see how much she can handle. What did you say? I didn't quite hear you. Idiot. Haha, but I guess that's enough for now, or else I might end up sleeping outside. Well, it's fine if you don't want to. I never said I didn't want to. What? What are you saying? I asked her, flabbergasted. I mean, maybe, you know. That's enough for now. We will talk about this later. Ho ho, so are you backing down now, huh? And here I thought Master wanted to become a father. What a disappointment. Sigh. Didn't she just seem embarrassed a moment ago? How did her mood change so suddenly? How? And what does she mean by what a disappointment? Does she want a child? Did you want a child? If you do, then I am fine with it. We will talk about this later. For now, the master should focus on this meeting. And there she goes, into her silent mode, with an embarrassed and red face. If you're going to get embarrassed like this, then why did you say something like that in the first place? Well, but she is right. I should focus on the meeting first. Did something happen? Are you guys alright? Your partner's face seems red. Is she alright? Gazel asked, noticing Ciel's embarrassed and flushed face. Well, nothing happened. Don't mind her, it happens from time to time, I reassured him, urging him not to worry about us. If you say so, he replied, trailing off because he didn't know our names. It seemed better to introduce ourselves properly. Let me introduce ourselves. I am the king of all existence, Rimuru-tempest. And she is my wife, the queen of all existence, Ciel-tempest. I declared our names majestically. I don't know why, but hearing him say his name with the title made me feel it was necessary to introduce ourselves with our own titles. Perhaps it's because I felt the need to emphasize our status as rulers from the beginning, so they could consider forming an alliance with us in the future. But perhaps it's for another reason entirely. Regardless, I felt it was appropriate to introduce ourselves in this manner. Or maybe Master just wants to brag. I think I heard something. Nah, it must be my imagination. Yup, imagination. King. King of all existence. What does that mean? Jane, the old lady, said in confusion, while the others seemed equally perplexed. Well, king means king. Yes, I am the king of all existence. I rule over all existence, and everything within existence is under my command. I explained to them who I am and what I am. However, I had a feeling that they didn't fully grasp what I was saying. Ha ha ha. You, Rimuru-san, you make good jokes, Gazel abruptly started laughing. I didn't joke, but again, not many people are aware of my existence, so it's only natural that you people don't know me. I don't blame you for that, I said to no one in particular. Well, aside from some selective individuals, no one is aware of my existence, so I don't blame them for thinking that I am joking. But I think it's time for me to make them aware of my existence. However, there is no need to take a direct approach. How about I play with them for a while? If not many people are aware of your existence, then who is aware of it? Dwarf, who was standing quietly until now, couldn't contain his curiosity any longer and finally spoke. Well, you have a valid question. There are not many people aware of my existence, only some selective individuals, which I can count on my fingers, I said. As I spoke, all of them became serious and gave their attention to what I was saying. If it doesn't bother you, then perhaps you could enlighten us on who they are. Gazel asked, showing interest in knowing them. Well, it doesn't bother me, so let's just tell them. Let's see him first of all true dragons, then all primordial demons, then all true demon lords, then true heroes, some insectors, and a few others. I spoke these names after thinking about who they are. As I spoke about the people who are aware of my existence, one after another, Gazel and his people became silent, their faces paling. What do you mean by true dragons, primordial demons, true demon lords, and true heroes? Gazel asked, breaking the silence. Fear and terror were dripping from his voice. Don't tell me you don't know who they are, I said, acting oblivious to his question. We know who they are, but what I mean is, how do they know about you? And how do you have a connection with them? Gazel asked again. The question. So, who am I? What am I? Am I a true dragon? A primordial demon? Or a true demon lord? I wonder who I am. Maybe I am all of it, I said, increasing their confusion, fear, terror, and anxiety. Haha. As the words left my mouth, the fear on their faces grew to an unimaginable degree that no words could describe. Tell me, did you ever hear of the fifth true dragon or the primordial silver? I asked them, giving one more push to their increasing terror. Dwarf seemed confused about who the fifth true dragon and primordial silver were, and Gazel seemed to have some idea but wasn't sure. However, the most noticeable reaction came from Jane. She had a face of utter terror and fear, her eyes showing the look of a person who knew they could die at any moment. Her face showed the true definition of fear. I know about it, I heard some legends about them. It is said that the primordial silver is the most powerful and ruthless among the primordials. He has turned many nations into nothingness in a matter of seconds, killing millions, if not billions, of people without a shred of remorse or mercy. His name alone is enough to bring countries to their knees. He was the strongest in hell, and his mere name was enough to strike fear into all demons. Some myths even say that he is so strong that he has defeated and killed all the remaining primordials at the same time. But all of this is nothing compared to the fifth true dragon. He is different from all the other true dragons. He is known as the void dragon and represents nothingness. Legend says that his true dragon form can be seen from all across the world. People from every corner can see him. His mere presence is enough to destroy everything. At his command, disasters happen, and his mere glance instills fear in other true dragons. Some myths say that he has surpassed even the creator of this world and become the strongest. For a long time, I also thought that it was all myths and legends and not true. But it all changed 300 years ago when he appeared during the time when the storm dragon was destroying the western nations. That time, I witnessed him for the first time, and it was majestic yet terrifying. The power was unimaginable. No one across the world was able to stand in his presence. All people kneeled because of the power radiating from him. On his command, the storm dragon stopped his rampage. "Are you him?" The old lady Jane spoke, her voice full of fear and trembling. Well, all she said is definitely true, and I can confirm that. Yes, I have destroyed many nations. Yes, I have killed billions of people. I have killed children, women, men, young, old, humans, high humans, monsters, and demi-humans, beings from every race without a shred of remorse or mercy. Half of it was because of the contract I made after being summoned into the material world, and half of it was the result of a failed experiment. I didn't bother to resurrect them either, so yes, I have killed countless people. If we combine that with the people I killed accidentally, or when I destroyed the fiction world, or when Velda and I fought, or when Milm, Valdor, and I fought, or the individuals I constantly kill unconsciously and unintentionally, then the number becomes uncountable. The number exceeds it so greatly that even the concept of scaling counting will fail. Anyway, she seems rather knowledgeable. Again, she is almost 1,000 years old now, so it's understandable that she has this much knowledge. But still, I haven't finished with them. Who knows who I am? Maybe I am the primordial silver or the fifth true dragon, or maybe I am not. What do you think about it? Isn't it interesting? I said this to them, only increasing their fear and anxiety. Toying with them is fun. A little more, then I'll stop. It doesn't matter who you are. Just tell us, are you a good person or evil? Gazel asked after gathering some courage. Good question. So am I good or evil? Well, it all depends on what you think. Everything depends on one's perspective. So tell me, what is your definition of good and evil? I said. I think it's finally time to show my wisdom and knowledge. In my opinion, good means that which is morally right, and evil means morally reprehensible. He gave me his answer. Well, this tells me that he is a good king, but not that knowledgeable yet. Well, your answers are good, but you are not entirely correct. It's because in this world, there is no such thing as absolute good or evil. Everything exists on a spectrum, and what is perceived as good or evil depends on one's perspective. I began, hoping to impart some of my wisdom to them. Till now, have you ever been in a situation where you had to take someone's life? I inquired about Gazel. Yes, he replied succinctly. Whom and when? I asked further. It was a soldier from an enemy nation, during a time of war, he answered honestly. I see. So, from the perspective of your own people, your actions may be seen as heroic and necessary for the protection of your country. They may regard you as a good person. But what about the people from the nation of the soldier you killed? How do they perceive you? Are you considered a hero or evil in their eyes? I asked, hoping to highlight the complexity of morality. I don't know, Gazel admitted, showing signs of inner turmoil. Indeed, they don't see you as a hero. To them, you're the enemy, the villain, and an evil person. Your actions are viewed with disdain and anger. They see you as an evil figure, I explained, aiming to broaden his perspective. So, considering these differences in viewpoints, can we truly categorize actions as inherently good or evil? I posed the question. Now, what kind of answer will he give? After all, his answer will decide the future alliance of our nations. I don't know anymore, Gazel replied, his voice filled with confusion. See, as a king, your duty is to protect your people and make difficult decisions for the greater good. But whether these actions are deemed good or evil depends on one's viewpoint. From your perspective and that of your people, you may be seen as a noble and virtuous leader. However, from the perspective of those who suffer the consequences of your decisions, you may be seen quite differently. So now, tell me, am I a good person or evil? I once again shared some of my wisdom and asked. Why you are a person, and thus far, you haven't caused harm to us. That's what truly matters, Gazel responded, finally grasping the complexity of morality and what I'm trying to say. Good, you understand what I am trying to convey. Now, let's address the main reason you requested an audience with us, I said, shifting the conversation back to its original purpose. I almost forgot about that. The reason is this, he said, presenting the vials of potion we had given to Kaijun yesterday. And so he continued, shifting the focus to the matter at hand. Time skip. A good negotiation later. Well, negotiations went well. During the discussions, we talked about the full potions and some other matters. I also informed him that in the future, I plan to establish my own country, and if he's interested, he can form an alliance with us. he agreed to the proposal. So, in the end, we struck a deal that, after the trial concludes, I'll take Kaijun and his brothers with me. Then, in the future, when we establish our country, we can form an alliance between our nations. Even though we talked for hours, I still didn't tell them anything about myself or Ciel besides our names. Instead, I planted some thoughts in their heads, suggesting that I might be a true dragon, a primordial demon, or perhaps I have connections with important figures. I didn't provide them with any solid proof or a direct answer, just some vague ideas. Now, after all that, we find ourselves in court, where Kaijun is accused of assaulting Vesta, the minister of this country, and betraying the king by pledging allegiance to me. For the past half hour, Vesta has been ranting about some nonsense, claiming that Kaijun assaulted him, and is planning to leave the kingdom with me. I don't know why I'm even bothering to listen to this, perhaps because Gazel politely requested my presence at the trial. Anyway, here I am, bored out of my mind. On the other hand, Ciel is fast asleep, her head resting on my shoulder. Lucky girl. After about 5 minutes of Vesta's incessant ranting, Ciel grew bored and activated her sleep skill, which we usually use to simulate sleep. Ciel created this skill because, as spiritual beings, we don't require food, sleep, water, or any other necessities of life. So, to experience sleep, she developed this skill. From this angle, her sleeping face looks so serene and beautiful. I wish this moment could last forever, but unfortunately, Vesta's voice is now grating on my nerves, making it difficult to appreciate Ciel's beauty. And it seems that Gazel has also had enough of his ranting. And that's why I believe that for assaulting me, the minister of this country, and trying to betray my liege and flee from this kingdom, Kaijun and his brothers shall be punished, my king. Vesta finished his blah blah blah, whatever he was saying. After hearing Vesta's full report, Gazel looked towards the other side, where Kaijun and his brothers were present. Seeing Gazel's gaze upon them, they kneeled and bowed their heads. Kaijun, what do you have to— I think he questioned him despite knowing everything beforehand as a formality. Well, there's no need to worry because yesterday I visited him and told him a few things that will happen today, so there is no need to worry. Thank you for giving me a chance to express myself, Your Majesty, Kaijun said while once again bowing. As he thanked Gazel, he glanced at me, and I nodded to him, telling him to tell the truth. With all due respect, Minister Vesta's claims are false and baseless accusations. I submitted 20 long magic swords yesterday. But I do agree that I have assaulted the minister, but there is a reason behind this. Yesterday night, after submitting the 20 long magic swords, me and my brothers were enjoying ourselves in the bar. At that time, Minister Vesta visited us and started to disrespect me and my brothers, saying that we had betrayed the country and were going to flee, among other things. When he said that, I didn't get angry at him, but when he started to disrespect my new master, I wasn't able to contain my anger anymore, and that's why I assaulted him. Kaijun told his part of the story while glancing towards Vesta, causing a surprise to flicker across Vesta's whitened eyes. Well, this is getting interesting. See, my liege, Kaijun himself said that he assaulted me, and he has pledged his allegiance to someone else. For this, he shall be punished, Vesta reiterated. What an idiot. Seriously, I know that he is going to change in the future and become one of my important subordinates, but still, seeing him like this makes me consider killing him. Should I kill him and revive him later? Well, for the time being, let's see what happens. Silence. Tell me, Kaijun, do you have any intentions of joining me again? Gazel silenced Vesta and directed his question to Kaijun. Please forgive me, my king, but me and my brothers have already pledged our allegiance to Rimuru, so I can't join you again, Kaijun replied, glancing between me and Gazel. As Kaijun said, Vesta wanted to say something, but Gazel spoke before he could. I see. In that case, as the king of Dwarf, I hereby revoke the citizenship of Kaijun and his brothers of this nation, and banish you from this nation. So, from midnight tonight, you and your brothers shall leave this nation. After this date, you will no longer be recognized as citizens of our nation. With this decision, my judgment concludes, Gazel declared. Understood, my king. Kaijun and his brothers said it in unison. But, my liege. Vesta tried to protest, but Gazel had enough of him. It seems that he still has something to say. Seriously, at this point, I just want to kill him. Silence. You, Minister Vesta, shall visit after 1.5 hours. This trial has finished. Gazel announced this and started to leave the room. I looked towards Kaijun and his brothers one last time, and gave them a signal to meet me outside. After that, I princess carried sleeping Ciel in my arms and started to leave. Sigh, what am I going to do with my cute wife? Chapter 48. Return to Goblin Village. Rimuru. It's been a few weeks since we returned from Dwarf. Upon our return, we found a group of goblins gathered around our village. There were around a total of 716 goblins. They came here after hearing that we had taken this village under our protection, named all of the villagers, and tamed D-rolls. While I anticipated their arrival, I didn't expect so many. Nevertheless, we welcomed them all and made them citizens of our village, naturally giving each one a name. After assigning roles to every goblin, I promoted Rigor to the position of Goblin King, tasking him with overseeing all of the goblins. Later, I selected certain goblins and granted them the title of Goblin Lord. Additionally, I handpicked individuals to lead specific departments. For example, Arena became the head of the agriculture department, Gabichi took charge of the food department, and Rigor assumed leadership of the security and supplies department. I chose not to appoint Gopta as the head of the security department at this time, because he is currently too clumsy and immature. Instead, I assigned him under Rigor as second in command to gain experience. However, this doesn't mean Gopta has no responsibilities, he still has important duties under Rigor's guidance. Well, that's the situation with the goblins. Now, it's almost time for Shizue's return, she should be here soon. However, I can still sense that the lazy lizard is with Rammers, probably just reading manga and slacking off. He needs to go to Grind and inform her that I've summoned her, as it's a matter of utmost importance. I'll need to remind that old man to hurry up. Old man, Rimuru. I just sent a thought communication to Vildor, and he better answer, or else I'll have to do something. No response, Vildor. Damn that attacker dragon. If that's what he wants, then that's what he gets. So here it goes. And done. I just sent a small, minuscule amount of turn null energy to him through our soul corridor. It's like getting shot, it will feel to him like he just got a mini shock. Actually, it works like this. First, I send a minuscule amount of turn null energy to him through our soul corridor, and this energy directly hits his core, giving him the same feeling as when a human gets shocked by a small taser gun. What is wrong with you, Rimuru? Vildor. Take that, old man. That's what you get for not answering me. Rimuru. What happened? Why did you just shock me? Vildor. I did that because you didn't respond to me. Anyway, did you finish whatever you were doing with Rammers, or is it still left? Rimuru. No, I don't. Vildor. What are you doing anyway? Rimuru. I am learning light magic. Vildor. Don't lie to me. I know that you are not doing that, you were just reading manga and passing time, weren't you, Rimuru? No, I don't know what you're talking about. I swear I was just learning magic. Vildor. I don't buy it, but for this once, I'll let you go. So tell me, when are you planning to go to Grind and tell her that I have called her? Rimuru. Do I seriously need to? Can't you just use thought communication like how you send me? Vildor. Well, he has a point. But if I do that, then he'll have nothing to do, and who knows what trouble he and that pixie together will cause. These two idiots will probably do something that I'll need to fix, and right now, I don't have time for their babysitting. So it will be a good way to waste some of his time. No, I can't do that, and don't question me why, because I don't want to, and that's it. So you have to go and tell her. You should go now, and after that is done, you can do whatever you want. Just don't cause any chaos. Rimuru. Fine. You don't have to say that, I'll do it. Vildor. Good. Now finish your task, and then you are free to do whatever you want. Anyway, why do you want to learn magic? Rimuru. He has been saying that he wants to learn magic for some time, but he has never once said why. I wonder what his reason will be. But I can bet that it is something related to manga. I am glad you asked. I am learning light magic because, after that, I can finally use cake and then I will be able to become Super Saiyan Blue 10x Kaijun hahaha, Vildor. Yep, I knew it. It was something like that. Well, he is doing his thing, so it's okay. Well, good for you then, but make sure to do that work before anything else. Rimuru. Yes sir. Vildor. With that, we cut off our thought communication link. Now that's done, it's time to welcome Shizue. Master, I am going to her home for a while, Ciel said, interrupting my thoughts. Throughout our conversation and while I was updating you on what happened and talking with Vildor, Ciel had been resting her head on my lap. We were sitting under one tree after assigning today's tasks to the goblins. Is there any reason behind your sudden return to her home? I asked her about her plans. Well, there is. I just want to make a welcome cake for Shizue, she said, standing up. Their friendship remains as strong as ever. Sometimes, I wonder if they are my two wives or sisters because their relationship seems like that of two sisters. Well, it's a good thing anyway. That is so sweet of you, my dear. Then why don't you let me help you? I asked her because I would also like to help. My cooking skills are not on par with Ciel's, but they are still better than others. No, master, you should welcome her while I go and make the cake, she replied to me. Fine, but before that, we need to talk, I said to her in a serious voice. Yes, master, what is it? She asked me. Come, sit here, I said to her as I leaned against the tree. As I motioned for her to sit, she settled onto my lap. It's about earlier, what you said to me when we were in Dwarf, I began, bringing up the subject that I really wanted to discuss while wrapping my arms around her body. What? She asked, oblivious to what I was talking about. It's about a baby. You said that you want a child, right? I asked her, this time more specifically. Haha, I think I should really go and make the cake, the clock is ticking, you know, she said with a flushed and embarrassed face. Oh no, you don't. And about time, we don't need to worry about that, I said, tightening my grip around her while stopping time. Now tell me, do you want a child? I asked her again, but in a soft and gentle voice. If she really wants it, then I don't have any problem with it. She can have as much as she wants. A boy would be good, but I also like the idea of a girl, a cute daughter. Well, I want it, but not now. Maybe when we are done with our journey of establishing our kingdom, she said, still with an embarrassed face. Why not now? Is there something on your mind? I asked her, because if she wants a child, there is no need to wait, we can have one anytime she wants. It's nothing serious, master. It's just that with all our work, like the upcoming orcs and later going to Ingrassia, and many more things, we won't have enough time to raise a child. That's why we should wait a little, she explained her reason. Well, she is right. We have too much work to do, and during this time, we won't have enough time to raise a child. Then how about this? After we finish building our kingdom and other things like the war with Blondie and the stuff that will happen after that, we can have a child. How does that sound? I asked her. When we finish these things, we won't have any work to do, and that time will be the perfect time to raise a child. Yes, that would be wonderful, she said, smiling. Ah, how beautiful she looks when she smiles like this. Fine, then we will go with this plan. Now you can go and do whatever you want to do, but before that, I agreed with her and took her by surprise with a passionate kiss. We are going to separate for some time, so I needed to recharge first, or else how am I going to survive? I said to her playfully after a long passionate 5-minute kiss. Just go already, she said, pushing me away and leaving. How cute. And it seems that Shizue is near the village because I can sense her. Just then, Rimuru approached. Rimuru-sama, we found some suspicious people in the forest. What shall we do about them? Rimuru said as he came near me. Suspicious, huh? Well, let's see. Those 3 idiots do seem suspicious, but not in a bad way, I mused. What kind of people are they? Are they monsters or humans? I asked him, feigning obliviousness to what he was saying. They are humans, Great Rimuru informed me. I'll go and see what they are doing. In the meantime, you can prepare some food for 4 or 5 people, I instructed, already knowing who they are and why they are here. Understood, Sir Rimuru. Rimuru acknowledged before leaving. Well, now it's finally time to meet Shizue. As for those idiots, there's no need to worry about them because I made sure that everything happened to them just as it did in my other variants timelines. Actually, before coming to the Goblin Village and after instructing Veldora to hide his presence, I had a talk with Zijin. I informed him that in a few days, some humans would enter the Dwarf forest. His task was to intercept them, put them under his illusion, and make them experience the exact same things that I wanted them to know. Later, I provided Zijin with information about these people, whom I referred to as the idiot trio because, well, they are idiots. I gave him details about how they entered the Dwarf forest, and what happened to them in my other variants timelines. So now, even if they came to investigate Veldora's disappearance, they wouldn't do anything due to being under illusion. What they saw was this. They entered the forest, were chased by monsters, and eventually reached Veldora's cave. However, they found nothing there, not even a single monster, hypocrite herb, or magic ore. With nothing else to do, they simply returned, just as things happened in other timelines. I did this because it allows me to establish relationships with humans, particularly with the Guild of Bloomond, and ultimately to establish diplomatic relations with the Kingdom of Bloomond. Now, let's welcome Shizue.